Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve. This is my beautiful wife, Brenda. My story starts out like a lot of yours here. Grew up in a loving Christian family, big family, 5 brothers, 1 sister. Every Sunday, load up in the station wagon and head to the country church with my grandparents attended. As a teenager, we joined a larger church that allowed us to participate in youth group, summer camp, and mission trips. After high school, I got married at a young age and had 2 wonderful kids, Matthew and Kayla. We continued the tradition of attending the church every Sunday with the family.
I grew up in South Bend, Indiana, the youngest in a family of 4 children. We went to church on occasion, but work, maintaining the household, raising 4 kids took precedence. I don't recall prayer or spiritual conversations being part of our childhood, but we were taught values of respect, hard work, kindness, education, and obedience. I was fortunate to go to college, earn a degree, and make lifelong friends there. Many of them had a faith background, but in our 20s and 30s, worldly activities consumed our time. I lived in Indianapolis at this time, always within 10 miles of one of my best friends from college, Lisa, who was married to Terry Davis, Steve's brother. While I didn't really know Steve then, rather than a quick hello at an annual 4th of July celebration that they had, I was blessed that Lisa and Terry helped me in my single journey. A single journey as a single woman. Terry also always stepped up to help me fix things that I could not fix myself. I also was fortunate to have my sister nearby, and she and her husband were godly influences on my life. During my 30s, I would help chaperone their youth group to an event called Ichthus, which is a 3-day outdoor Christian retreat. Little did I know that I was not there just for the youth, but God called me forward during the altar call. I had a miraculous experience that continued with a series of intense encounters with God's presence over the next few days after the event.
During my 20 years of marriage, I found out my marriage was in trouble. During the struggle, my brother Terry invited me to an event called the Great Banquet. It is a 72-hour spiritual retreat for men and women to participate in on separate weekends. Brenda invited my brother a year before me. During the weekend, guests are invited to write down burdens or issues that you would have that they would pray over. So you'd write it on a piece of paper, take it up front, put it in a dump truck, and then dump all your burdens away. During that time, I wrote down my marriage. At that time, when I was walking back to my table, I had a presence of God on my shoulders saying, "It's not time yet."
As I settled into a career in Indianapolis, a desire to be married and have children was growing, and that was happening with most of my friends. Unfortunately, as I hit 40, it was not really a reality for me. I had continued my faith journey after being saved at Ichthus, attended church regularly, and became involved in leadership with the Great Banquet. This was an amazing ministry that brought many opportunities to see God at work and change lives. I felt very close to God and developed many more Christian friendships through this ministry. I invited my dad to attend the Great Banquet, and he agreed reluctantly. It truly was a miracle because he was not comfortable really in a faith setting. It turned out to be a wonderful weekend for him. One of the men that sat at his table entered my life, and we started dating. Within a short time, we were married, and I was elated that God had answered my prayers for a husband. Unfortunately, things went very bad, very fast, and I ended up getting divorced quickly. The following year, I lived in depression. Blaming God for allowing this to happen. Fortunately, a godly childhood friend devotedly walked with me during that time. I eventually got back to a place of connection with God, asking for His forgiveness for blaming Him for my mistakes, and used the experience for good. He showed me that no person, place, or thing will ever bring you the joy you are seeking. Only He can.
I had worked on our marriage for a couple of years and thought things were getting better. Unfortunately, I received an anonymous phone call saying that she was doing it again and things was being unfaithful. I confronted her, and she admitted that she was. I was devastated, as anybody would be, and filed for a divorce. As I left the lawyer's office, again, I felt the cool breeze of God's voice saying, "It's going to be okay." I was grateful for my Christian family and God walking with me as I walked through this divorce. Fast forward a couple years, I attended my brother's 4th of July party, which Brenda was always at. And on my way home, my older brother was with me, and he said, Jim asked, "Why don't you ask that Brenda girl out?" And I laughed and said, "I'm not interested." Several weeks had went by, and I decided to call Brenda and ask her out for dinner. We began dating a long distance. She lived in Indy. I lived in Plymouth. And as we were getting more serious, I told her I will not marry again. But God had a different plan. 2 years later, we got married. And this September, we'll be celebrating our 15th wedding anniversary.
Through our marriage, I have received incredible gifts that I didn't even think to pray for. I got 5 incredible grandchildren and godly stepchildren and their spouses to share life with. While I did not get to have children of my own, God made a way for me to experience this joy in a different way. We have prioritized church community in our marriage and have had an overflow of blessings since we transitioned to PCC. The women here took me in right away and have truly changed my life. Steve also has changed me by the amazing servant leader that he is, following God's leading, which I first witnessed in my life through his brother Terry. We will close with a scripture that was a guide during various trials. "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, when you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything."